Tēnā tātou katoa, tēnā koutou rā e whakarongo mai nei ki tēnei o ngā hōtaka o Koniahi i Kōrero. O tira ki koutou e mātakitaki mai nei i tēnei o ngā pāpā o Mataora ki runga i Facebook. Ko ahau tēnei a Te Aorangi Dillon e me I kātu ki koutou katoa. Tērā pēr kei te tiro mai koutou ki tēnei kiriata me te whakaro kōwai e nei kōhine a tāhua rawa ki te taho tēnei whaine o ngā rua henerangi. Well, ko oku nei iramutu, tētahi, ko tōku iramutu, tētahi o enei. Ana ko tētahi he uri no Ngāti Ruanui, ana ko tērā atu, a breeze no ngā puhi. Engari, ka waiho ki rātou, ki te whakamoho atu ki koutou katoa, ko wai rātou no hea, aua āhuatanga katoa. Nā reira, ko hine mā, nau mai haere mai ki tēnei o ngā pai o Koniahi I Kōrero. Ka tuku te rākau ki koe e Te Amokura, mau te timatanga e no, nā reira, kei a koe te wā.
Kia ora, ko Te Amokura Hepi ahau, tātaku māma, heri tēnei no ngā rua hinerangi no Ngāti Rangitihi, ki tātaku pāpā no tūwhare toa. Te kaumāwhitu aku pakeke, e kura nāna hau ki te kura kaupapa Māori o ngā mau ngā rongo. Kia ora.
Kia koe e Breeze.
Kia ora, ko Breeze Harema o toku ingoa, he uri tēnei no te taitokerau no Ngāpuhi, waihoki no ngā motu o Hāmoa. Te kaumawhitu o kutau, kurai nāna hau ki te Parekura o ngā mau ngā rongo. Kia ora.
Ana te mutunga, kei a koe Parekura.
Kia ora, ko Parekura te miringa ki rā tōku ingoa. He uri tēnei ki tāo tōku pāpā no Ngāti Ruanui, no te whānau apanui hoki, ki tāo tōku māma no te taitokerau, he uri tēnei no Ngāpuhi te Rarawa. Te kaumawhitu o pakeke, e kuraina ana āhau ki te kura tuarua o te Klotuku ki te kura o Rutherford. Kia ora.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Nā reira e te whānau e te iwi e mātakitaki mai nei. You may be wondering, why have I got all of these lovely young ladies sitting with me tonight? And the reason is because these three are part of a rangatahi o'u that is working for Te Whānau or Waipareira Trust at this point in time. They are frontliners, and I have it on good authority that these three young women could run a vaccination clinic by themselves. Basically, any of your COVID-19 needs, these ladies have got you covered, e te iwi. But I'm going to leave that up to them to tell you a little bit about what they have been doing. But first of all, Te Amokura, how long have you all been in lockdown for? So, e te whānau, they all live in Tāmaki Makaurau too. So how long have you been in lockdown for, Te Amokura?
I think we've been in lockdown for like 8 weeks now, 8 or more, something like that.
8 or
Too
more
long.
weeks.
Yeah.
So you obviously went into lockdown, alert level 4, and so that meant no going to kura for all three of you. And then all of a sudden we see like this ohu of Rangatahi who are frontlining or out in front for Te Whānau or Waipareira Trust. So how did that come about? Parekura, how did you end up working on the front line for Te Whānau or Waipareira Trust?
Well, all of our mums work for Te Whānau Waipareira, and we got the job as voluntary, so we were voluntold by our parents. But yeah, so like Amo said, we've been working all lockdown since like the end of August, and we opened up at the Trust Arena in Lincoln, and yeah, we practically just got told one day, oh yeah, come in, we need some Rangatahi on the line to get our kind in, you know, us young ones, maybe encourage them to come get their vaccines done just to support the kaupapa, and yeah.
Kia ora. So, Breeze, what was the first job you learnt?
The first job I learned was observing people, which is like the final step in the vaccination protocol. So yeah, you wait for 15 minutes and we just had to observe them, making sure nothing goes wrong with them after their vaccine. Yeah, that was my first job.
And what could go wrong with them?
Just reactions to the vaccine, like fainting or seizures or vomiting even. But those are mainly the
The higher end.
Yes.
The higher end reactions, like.
Yeah, but nothing major.
Yeah. And did everyone get through it fine?
Yeah, mainly. Every now and then we would have a fainter or just nauseous, but nothing like serious.
Nothing like, oh my gosh, where's the ambulance? Nothing like that, huh?
No, yeah, nothing like that. No, yes.
So, Te Amokura, because of course your mother is my sister, so I definitely know you would have been voluntold what was happening for you during this period, and it's lovely. But however, we did watch you, and you took your mahi very seriously. So you're going into like around about week 7, week 6, week 7. Do you have a new appreciation for the mahi that your mum does?
Yeah, I didn't realize how big Mum's mahi was, like what she did. So like seeing who she was in charge of and what she was doing was like, oh, that's why sometimes we come home a bit grumpy. No, kidding. But like, like yeah, I've never seen like that many kai mahi before. Or like, and she's the boss of them, so it's like, but yeah.
So, Parekura, what does your mum do within the organisation?
So my mum does she's like, to be honest, I don't really know. All I know is that she directs like all the Māori stuff. So she does all like classes for the kai mahi, like especially since there's a lot of like all the new workers that I've met along during this lockdown. They've been talking about how mum helps them with their Māori and them wanting to learn more about our culture. And she does like the kapahaka stuff as well to get in for them. She teaches new waiata, gets them to do karakia and all of that. And yeah.
Okay, I think I know who your mum is because it is spoken about the kapahaka before to all of us, about how they might have to enter into a competition or something or other. So now, okay, I'm putting the dots together. So you're that person's daughter. And Breeze, I've met your mum. So those of you who are watching, if you watch my very first interview, my second interview that I did on this show, it was with Breeze's mum and Te Amokura's mum. So Te Amokura's mum is my sister. And they talked about the mahi that Waipareira Trust had been doing for a week at that stage. And what we've seen is it build up, and we've seen you guys start to front it. So what's been so far the most enjoyable thing that you've done? Amo, what's been the most enjoyable thing for you so far?
I think the best part of the vaccination process for me is vax admin. So when you come through to a vaccination center, you go through registration and they make sure all your details are there, and then you come through to get your vaccination and you have a vax admin, and what they do is like they make sure all your details are good and like everything's right on the system. And I get to talk to people when they come through when I'm vax admin. So I like having that whakawhanaunga with like everyone that comes in, making sure they're all good. It's good when I do it because I have rangatahi who come in and they're scared a lot of the time. And so having like a rangatahi doing vax admin, and like I tell them about my experience when I got the jab, I was all good. So they were like, oh, I'll be all good then. And then like, yeah, just seeing that, it's all good.
And what about you, Breeze? What's been your most enjoyable experience so far?
Yeah, I think similar to Amo, or even registrations, kind of the same. You get to talk to everyone that comes in and whakarongo with them, and like, yeah, just seeing people in lockdown, you know, like, because it's you're isolated basically, and seeing other people and getting to talk to them, yeah, it's just enjoyable. And yeah, probably learning different aspects of vaccination protocols. Yeah.
Pihia koe pare, what about you? What's been the most enjoyable part of it for you so far?
Well, recently I've just learned how to do health checks, and that's when you either at a mobile station you'd drive through, and I just make sure, like, I just ask you simple questions like, oh, you don't have any COVID symptoms, make sure you're like nice and healthy. But the thing I like about health check is that like I kind of get to like calm them down before they actually go through, so they're not so on edge. There was heaps of people that came in yesterday when I was on health check, and they were like, oh my gosh, like they're a real whakama, or they're a bit amaima about like being here, and I was just like, it's okay, like you don't need to worry. I'm scared of needles too, you know? Like I'm all shit, like how she said, share her experience of the vaccine. I do that too. But like I like rambling, so maybe like to try and calm them down a bit. Yeah. Because I'm just a very talkative person. That's why I like health checks. And to see how many like there's heaps of whānau that bring in like at least 3 generations of their whānau. Like there'll be like a kaumatua, and then that kaumatua's kids, and then their kids, and then their kids' kids, and it's just cool to see how we're getting through to our hapori, you know, like just trying to share the message, and you know, just because we've got to protect our whakapapa, and because I'm sick of this level 3 lockdown, I kind of want to have a good summer, you know. Yeah, but yeah, it'll be health check for me.
Ka pai. So take us through a typical day. So we'll go in 3 steps, okay? And we'll start with you, Te Amokura. Let us know what let us know what it looks like for you guys from the moment you all arrive at your whatever it's called. Tell us what it's called. Everything. Tell me the first 3 steps, and then Breeze can go to the next couple of steps, and then Parekura can go through the next steps.
Oh, okay. So for Te Whānau Waipareira, we also have Māori wardens. So when whānau pull up, Māori wardens, I don't know, delegate them a spot for their car, bring them in to a line. Then when whānau are lined up and they come through the doors, you go to health check. And that's what Pare does. She just asks them all the screening questions if you have any COVID symptoms, if you're waiting for tests. And then from health check, once you get that all good and like you consent to being vaccinated, you go through and you walk on into registration, and they basically they ask you for your name or your NHI number. Then they will ask you the same kind of things as Pare would in health check. It would be like COVID symptoms or waiting for a test. They do that so they can put you through the system for when you walk into Vax admin, and that would be the 3rd step for your vaccination. You'd walk in and you'd sit down, and then Vax admin would talk to you. And then I think I've gone past 3 steps, so I'll give it to Bree so she can talk to you about the rest.
So from Vax admin, the vaccinator will come along, talk to you and everything, go through any side effects or symptoms. They'll jab you, then you'll head on over to observation for 15 minutes. So observation will ask you how are you feeling, if you're feeling all right, if you want any water or anything. From observation, you wait for 15 minutes, And then once your 15 minutes is up, the nurse will come and check you off and just make sure you're okay. And then you walk out the door.
And so obviously there's some parts to that, like the health check. Parekura, what sort of questions, because you talked about how you like to calm people down, but obviously it's not just I like to calm people down. There's got to be something that a person has within them that actually relates or connects with the other person. So what is it exactly that you, because I can feel like if I got you, if you were my health check, I'd be like, phew, okay, cool. So what is it that you say and what is it that you do to put people's minds at ease?
Okay, so for health check, just like Amo said, we'll ask the normal questions, like any COVID symptoms, waiting on a COVID test, and if they're not, we give them their name tags. So like because I'm a rangatahi, it's alright to crack a few jokes every now and then. So like, or I'd give like simple compliments. Like there'll be people and they'll come in, they'll be like all dressed up and stuff, and I'll be like, oh, I like a bag, I like a shoes, you're looking good today, you know? I feel like it's just like just the little things. Like even asking them how their day is, or asking them how their lockdown's been, and if it's been a bit of a downfall of a lockdown, just like, you know, give them a bit of encouragement, like it's alright. Like I feel you, like, you know, just a bit of aki throughout the process. But yeah, and because like, oh, I didn't realize this, but I'm actually a real talkative person, so I just ask like random questions like, oh, have any kids, or how you doing today? Like, you'd be surprised at how many mamas come through and they'll be like, oh yeah, my kids are at home with the husband, and I'll be like, oh, is that why you're here? And she's like, yeah, but if you can leave me in here longer than I need to be, it's all good. Just give me some more time. Like, it's just, yeah, just like the little things, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, so you put the effort in to making a person feel like it's okay, and just those little extra touches, that's what people want in this sort of a situation. And so Amo, what does the setup look like? Like, describe it to our listeners, those who can't see you right now, because this is going to play on the radio. Like, are we in an indoor arena? Is this like a drive-through setup that's got like a makeshift tent? Or what does this look like to everyone?
Well, for Te Whānau Waipareira, we have like different sites. So we have mobile sites that go to like parks to vaccinate in the hapori, and then we have our big vaccination center. We had one at the Trust Arena, which is like in an arena, and it was a drive-through at first, so you didn't have to get out of your car, but then it went inside, and it was like, yeah, basically basketball courts filled with like seats, and it was like faced away from people, so not everyone saw you getting vaccinated. Like, you had a bit of privacy. And then we have another one closer to Te Whānau Waipareira Trust, like, and it's kind of like, oh, it's an old warehouse stationery. So it's just like, it had cubicles, but now they're taken down and they're just chairs again. Oh, I can't even explain it. Maybe
You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
Okay. Yeah. So you walk in to the old warehouse stationery that's empty, and it's got chairs lined up with people on computers. That would be your registration. You turn a corner, then there's more chairs lined up, and that's your vaccination area. And you turn another corner, and then there's more chairs lined up, and that's your observation area.
Okay, so there's sections to it. Breeze, how many people are you getting through these types of clinics? What's been the biggest day you've had so far?
I think our biggest day was 1.7K people. That was through the Trust Arena, but now it's like in the mobile units, it's around 60 and above, 60 to 200. But in the warehouse, the clinics, it's like, what, 600 and up? I think the most we done this week was like 995. So just below 1K.
Wow. And what's that like, Parekura? When there's that many, like, what is your shift like? You know, what are your hours? Are you guys 5 days a week, or is it like 3 days on, 4 days off, or how does it all work for you guys?
I think it really depends on who's rostering us on. Some days or some weeks would have 3 days, sometimes would have 5. Like last week, I don't know about everyone else's hours because our hours are a bit different. My hours were from I'd wake up at 7. That's me waking up late. 7 is late, and then would get there around about like 7:30 for karakia if I make it. And then we usually start between 8 and 9, depending on where you're stationed, whether it was the Trust or Catherine Street, which is the warehouse, or the mobile stations. And it also depends on how much vaccines we have. So if it's a really good day, would finish at 5, and that was with the numbers like the 1.7K numbers. On a really bad day, would finish at like 2:30. Yeah, and I think it's just like for us, the more people, the better, because we're like Rangatahi, we're hardwired. We like just to get out there and do the mahi. And when there's less people, we don't really get to do as much mahi as we want to, which kind of sucks considering we're out here trying to help the community, but like not much people are coming in anymore. Yeah.
That's an awesome answer. I mean, I'd love to talk more about that. The fact that you are young, Rangatahi, but you're really there for a purpose, you know? Do you think that, I'll go to you first, Amo, do you think that you really have to have a love for your hapori to do this sort of mahi? It's not just like, oh, woohoo, we're going to get paid a little bit and then I'm going to save some money. Do you think that this is like it's a ngākau mahi?
Yeah, and you can like tell the difference when a kaimahi is like in it for their hapori and when a kaimahi isn't. Like the way we treat everybody that comes through is like way different to those who like don't really want to be here. It makes like the experience more enjoyable for whānau who come through as well. Like it's just like easygoing. Like yes. To answer your question, yes, it does.
Beautiful. What about you, Breeze? Do you agree? You can make your answers as long as you want. It's not a yes/no answer.
Yes, 100%. Just like Amo was saying. Sorry, if you don't have the love, love for the kaupapa, and protecting everyone, then it's just like you're just drained, like draining going to work and tiring and just don't want to be there. And I feel like you give off those vibes as well when you don't want to be there. Whereas when you do, you're more like, hello, how are you today? Oh, how was your day? You know, like more happy and just, excited to be at work.
And ka whakai hoki koe, Parekura? You're the one who started it off there with the ending of your last kōrero, but I would think that you agree wholeheartedly that you got to have the love for your hapori.
Definitely. Because like Breeze and Amo was saying, like the more in tune you are with the people, the better it is. Like you can really tell the difference between kaimahi that come in just for the putea and those who come in for the hapori. It's like the aroha that you have for your community radiates, and it's actually really beautiful, like coming in and like, you know, and it's cool. It's better too that when we all work together, because like we're all mates now, and like it's funny because like when I first met Breeze and her sister, we're like real young, and then I get to see them again, and it's like, wow, like the time goes by and we're all just grown now and we're just working together just to help our community. And
Ka rawe. So, Amo, so obviously you're all vaccinated, right? And so you're 17 years old. I missed your ages, Parekura and Breeze, but Amo, you're 17 years old. You've been vaccinated. Was this your decision that you made, and why? Why did you make that decision?
Yes, I am fully vaccinated. It was my decision. It wasn't mum. Actually, mum was like encouraging me for myself to like research everything about the vaccine before I go, so it would be like my choice. Luckily for me, I did like a whole biology paper on vaccines before I got my vaccine, so that's what really made me change my mind. And like knowing that there are people out there who actually can't get vaccinated, like yeah, made me decide that I want my vaccine to help them. And also I live in Auckland, like the hotspot of COVID. So I'm like, I would rather get vaccinated than get COVID. Really, that was like, yeah, that was me.
It's that simple, huh, for you? What about you, Breeze?
Naya, mum gave me the choice as well. She was like, if you want to get vaccinated, then take yourself to get vaccinated. And then she just messaged me and she's like, oh, if you want to get vaccinated, the vaccine center's quiet. And then I went and got vaccinated. And yeah, just like Amo, I done the same biology paper as her, which was all about vaccines. And yeah, because I have nieces and nephews that are too young to even get like measles vaccines and all that. So I was like, oh yeah, might as well just get vaccinated to help them as well, so they don't, so I'm not putting them at risk. And yeah, also just to protect your whakapapa, like they say. And yeah, just people that can't get vaccinated, to help them out. Yes.
Ka pai. What about you, Pare?
I'm fully vaccinated. My first one, I didn't actually know, to be completely honest, I didn't actually know there was even a vaccine in our country. I was kind of, but we had a kapaka practice one day for tamaki ngaho, and half an hour before we went into practice, Mum puts me in the car, drives me to Catherine Street, the warehouse station. She's like, okay, go inside and tell them you have an appointment. I walk in and they're like, oh, kia ora, what's your name? Gave them my name and everything. And the dumbest thing you could ever ask is, oh, what am I doing here? I asked the lady what I was doing there. And she goes, you're here to get your vaccine. I was like, what's the vaccine for? And she goes, to protect you from COVID. It was the funniest thing. But I'm real grateful that Mum sent me in, because as soon as I got done, I come out, and after practice, I did all my research about the vaccine, the vaccination, and it was enlightening to know that I am a part of I'm a part of something new. Like I'm a part of something that helps protect our people from the mate urita. And I think people are kind of overreacting nowadays to the magnets in it and stuff. And it's like, I don't take biology. I suck at biology, but I know that like there's no magnets in it, because if there was magnets, there was metal particles in something that's trying to help you and protect you from a sickness, it'll actually make it worse. Like, I think people just need to stop listening to all of that stuff, because the vaccination actually helps. And because I'm really close with like my papa and all of that, and me and my mum, we tend to get sick quite a lot, and that's just because like genetics, it's in our whānau. I didn't want to be like that, you know, and I didn't want to be at risk of getting COVID, because even if you are vaccinated, you can still get COVID, but it won't be as bad as those who aren't vaccinated. And if people think about it, we have one person, like kwahinga nā te vaccination, but it wasn't the vaccination, it wasn't the serum itself, it was how their body reacted to it, and it was It could have been like something within their blood and how it mixed wrong with it, but it's not actually the vaccination itself. Compared to how many people have died just from COVID without being vaccinated, I think people need to look at it as more of a logistic approach. You know?
Yeah, nice. So, man, these are three very intelligent young wahine talking about biology and stuff up in here with me. I'm like, biology? Definitely didn't take biology when I was in high school. So, Amo, just talking about the biology paper that you took, and picking up a little bit on what Pare just said around the magnetisation. You might not have, because this is totally on the spot question, but how likely is it, biology-wise, that you could be magnetised?
Oh, to be honest, my biology paper did not include that, but I've seen heaps of videos on TikTok of like people like joking about after they got the vaccine, they were like a magnet and everything was like sticking to them. And then it got me like freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, that's gonna happen to me because I got the vaccine. But then I looked it up online and there was like a scientific explanation on why that happens. Didn't read it properly, but now I know it's not because like there's nothing in the vaccine as well. So yeah, no, I don't know.
Do you want me to I will put your mind at ease, okay?
Okay.
Just so you guys know. The way that it sticks to your body, it can be like as simple as there's sweat, and so the spoon sticks. It could be the shape of your arm, and you can like literally put it up. One of my friends down here, she was having a joke, and there was a speck of coffee on her teaspoon, and she stuck it on her arm, and it stuck. So yeah, I think if you did, Pare, she kind of hooked onto it there. If you did get magnetized, you'd have to be injected with like a heap load of metal particles, and it would probably kill you before it made you magnetized. So yeah, do you have any thoughts on that little piece of misinformation there, Breeze, or are you a little bit like the other two there?
Yeah, a little bit like the other two. Just like listening and observing everything you're just saying.
Nice. So another thing that interests me about your guys' mahi is that you had a reo Māori wahanga or reo Māori lane. Is that right? Where people who could speak Māori, they came specifically down that lane that made them feel more comfortable. So how did that come about? Was this something you guys initiated, or was it one of the adults? And did you guys have to man that lane, or tell me about that? Starting with you, Pare.
Would love to take credit for that, it was mainly because we weren't getting much Māori coming in. A lot of them were a bit either they were too scared to come in, they were a bit whakama, or like they were listening to all their mates and all the social media stuff. So whoever organised all of that, I'm pretty sure it was either it was Breeze and Amo's mums or someone else who works with them. They initiated that would have their Māori vaccinators, because we have lay vaccinators. They're like kaimahi from Waipareira, but they've trained to vaccinate to give our nurses a break because we haven't had much come in, and they're distributed all around our country. So we've called them lay vaccinators. We had our Māori vaccinators, lay vaccinators go into lanes. And then we had like Rangatahi, like it was either there was a time where me and Amo were doing vax admin, and other times where other of our Rangatahi were doing vax admin as well. As long as you could Kōrero Māori, they felt that was a good approach for our people to come in and just to have a feel of their own kind, and just it was more like a welcoming thing. Yeah.
And what was that like, Amo?
Oh, I think it was cool, because at the same time it was Mahuru Māori and it was Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori when they did it. So it was like in line with the kaupapa of the month and the wiki. And I was so surprised when certain people would come in and they were talking Māori. It was cool though. Like there was a lot of people that did come in and they were talking Māori too, which was like a big surprise for me. even though I'm like, I know people can. Oh wait, that sounds wrong. But no, it was so cool because a lot they came into were from Kura Kaupapa, and I knew some of them too. Like some of them were my mates, some of them were my mates whānau, and so yeah, it was cool. Cool. It's like being back at Kura.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. And what about you, Breeze? Did you enjoy that?
Oh. No, yeah, it was cool to see, and like, because I feel like Te Whānau or Waipareira is also like really Māori orientated with everything they do. So yeah, a lot of the kaimahi could speak Māori. So as soon as you walk through to Regos, they done Regos in Te Reo Māori as well, and then you come into the big arena, and all you hear is Te Reo Māori, which is yeah, it's cool to hear and be there in the moment and feel the wairua, and yeah, it was something cool. Yeah, it was good.
And so moving forward, because you've been in the job, you're probably one of the most experienced crew at this point in time in a vaccination centre within Aotearoa, servicing your hapori, your people, the iwi, the mana whenua of that area of Tamaki Makaurau. So how does it feel moving forward? Do you feel like you reached, do you set goals? Actually, we'll go with this. Do you set goals for yourself each day, or is there a goal set as your rōpū? I like the fact that you go in and you have karakia, you start your day with karakia, and then is it like, okay, whānau, today we're going to like, get as many people through by such and such a time, and da-da-da-da-da. What's it like, Pare?
Yep, so we have karakia at 7:30, and after karakia, our big bosses, they give a debrief of what our numbers were like the day before, and how our stance on it was throughout the day, and with the things we needed to improve on. So usually the goal is to get as many people as we can in, and especially for the mobile site, so it could be like a camper van. Or this weekend we had our little camper vans, and we were stationed at the Mormon churches. There was one Mormon church in Lincoln, in West Auckland, and there was another one in Massey. So the goal was to bring as many of our whānau from the community in. And usually we have this thing called the hype team, or as the aunties like to name them, the whoop whoop girls. And you just for the Mormon church, one of the high priests, he bought like flags. And there was like a Niuean one, a Fijian one, and we'd have people that'd either be volunteers from the church, but they'd go out and they'd wave flags, and then kaimahi from Waipareira would go in and we'll have like these signs, and they'll just be like, just to encourage our whānau to come in. But yeah, the main goal is usually just to get as much people as we can in.
Okay, so you've got your goals, you pretty much know how to set up the stations each day, you've pretty much done every single job, right? What's the ultimate aim for you as rangatahi? What would your message be to rangatahi right now who are a little bit like, I don't know about this vaccination thing, like I've heard all of this stuff and it doesn't sound good for me. We'll start with you, Amor. What would be your wise words to share with your hoa?
Wise words. Oh, just get it. No, don't be scared. Just go for it. Some people are like scared because they don't know what's in it, and like they're gonna get something they don't know in their body. I'm like, if you drink alcohol, if you do other things, and you don't know what they are, why can't you get the vaccine? No, but there's so much like research online that you can do, like I did, that can persuade people to get the vaccine. I reckon, yeah, just go for it. It's not even that bad, honest. It like takes maybe a second, 2 seconds maybe. It feels like a little pinch. We have people that come in that are fully tatted, and they're so scared, and we have to take them into like a separate room to get vaccinated. And I'm like, why? But yeah, if they can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, so can they. So yeah, just get it. It's all good.
Kia ora, amo tēnā koe no. Breeze, what's your famous last words?
I know we all want to go to One Love and Rhythm and Vines and every other summer festival. So let's hope that goes through if we're all vaccinated. Protect your hapuri, your whakapapa, your whānau, just everyone, just protecting yourself as well. Yeah, get vaccinated, whānau.
Anā ka waiho ngā kupu whakamutu ngā mau e Parekura. What are your words that you're going to sign out with?
As a famous Te Amokura Hepi once said, do the mahi so we can get back to level tahi. Yeah, especially because there's a lot of events trying to be opened up, especially in Auckland. And if if you really care about your whānau, you'd get vaccinated. It's one of the only ways you can help yourself be immune to the sickness. And yeah, because I really want to go back home for the summertime. So I'd appreciate it if we all just get vaccinated. And future reference, I want to go traveling, and I can't do so if none of you is vaccinated. So one love, aroha kia koutou katoa. But yeah, let's just get it done. Ka pai.
Parekura, just one more question. When you say you want to go home, where's home?
Right. So aroha tō mai Ngāti Ruanui family. I don't really know that side, but home's back up north, back to the Hokianga. Arohas.
Ka pai. Nā reira, e mihi ana ki koutou, kua tai mai ki Wainganui, kua tai mai ki tēnei o ngā pai o Koniahi Kōrero, ko hine mā, he nui ngā mihi e tuku ki koutou, o tira ki o whānau hoki. Thank you for joining me tonight, ko hine mā. This has been a really, really good kōrero, and it'll be great information for Rangatahi, who are maybe sitting on the fence right now, and also for everyone else to get an insight to what it is that your daily job is at the moment, and what it is that Te Whānau or Waipareira Trust are doing up there in Tāmaki Makaurau. And we thank you for your commitment and your time that you're putting into your hapuri, ladies. Nā reira, nā rungi tērā wakaro, ka oti tātou ki konei. Nā reira, ki koutou e whakarongo mai nei, ki koutou e mātakitaki mai nei rānei, i tēnei o ngā rā, koinei ngā mei mata kui ki koutou. Katoa, hei konei, hei kona tūrau Hawaii.